Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. I'm your host Ben, and with me are my co-hosts.
I am Mike.
What's going on? It's Matt.
Like Mike, have you turned into a robot? Because if you like let your humanity through, you'll just the seething, malding rage that was Pokemon getting shafted at the completely snubbed at the Game Awards. It would
Was
just
it even up
boil
for
over.
anything?
Yeah, Arceus was up for, I
Oh,
think,
Arceus.
was it for best RPG?
Well, man, what do you?
No, I'm not angry at that. I'm just angry at Pokemon in general. The Terra raids are just giving me insane rage.
And like we talked about, I think on a stream or something, or maybe it was
Yeah, and uncut.
last episode. I forget now. It all blends together. This is end game content, right?
Yeah,
And
and
like,
it's just broken.
what's the goal? What is the ultimate goal? Is it just collecting more Pokemon for that?
To
Because I know
be
you
the
said that's
very
how
best that
yeah,
no
it's
one
the
ever
only way.
was.
It's the only way you can get Charizard.
Yeah, collecting more Pokemon and you get like rewards for beating the raids. So you get like nuggets and like different materials and shit like that.
Listeners at
Um,
home know that we are all about the nugs, about the
all about the
nuggets.
nugs. I like the big nugs when you get those.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so
Smaller
it's
ones are
just
easier to
getting
deal with. Some say smaller ones are
yeah.
better. Depends on how you use them.
Um, but yeah, so it's just incredibly frustrating. And this morning I was woken up at like 3 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. So I was playing Pokemon and fucking
We're
like
we're gonna
one
hold up
shotted
for a
a
second here and just
Tyranitar.
talk about the fact that you were slowly morphing into an old Italian man rapidly. Up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It would say goes to bed at 9 and up at 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I went to
eating
bed
deli
late
meats
last
in a
night, but
bathrobe.
making a sandwich in my mouth.
Yeah.
Um,
Who needs bread? Who needs the
yeah.
bread?
No, there was people playing music late at night on the street and it woke me up. New York, baby.
Goddamn hooligans.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say a problem that legitimately does not exist here.
I remember in before I moved, there's like a pretty it's like, it was a farmhouse inn type area that was like a wedding venue, and they would have music a lot, but like there's like a strict town ordinance for music must stop at 10 p.m.
Yes.
So like, it would just be blasting
Yeah.
until 9:59 and then just crickets,
New York has that as well. But
but nobody abides
Vermont
by
also
it.
has a
yeah,
lot of towns with strict light ordinance where it's like after 9 o'clock, like your neon signs got to shut off and stuff like that.
that's pretty cool.
Preserve the natural sky.
Why
I'm
there are no
just
streetlights.
Yes,
That's why I can actually it's like both kind of dangerous for me, but also better with my
it's a
new
it's a
adopted
coin flip
night
depending on the
blindness.
weather up here. The lack of
Yeah.
streetlights, if it's
coin
helpful or
flip.
not.
Yeah.
I can tell you what is not helpful. Spending your time hyper training a Pokemon just to win Terra Raid battles, only to have the battles kick you out when you have like 2 HP left on the Pokemon you're trying to defeat. And
One would think that with all this frustration, it would be incentive to, play another game. Does that thought ever
never,
occur to you?
no, never, never, not once.
My man's an addict. He's
I mean,
fiending.
honestly, if I had the Witcher on the Switch,
It's available.
I know, but I own it on PC and I'm poor.
Yeah, it is available on
You got
Switch.
it
I don't
on
know how
hard.
I'd feel about the how it
Hey
plays on
man,
Switch
I
though.
own it
Yeah.
on the Switch, and I can say that it
Uh,
is a technical marvel that it exists there.
Yeah,
They
right.
they they did a genuinely good job of porting.
Interesting. You got it in hard copy? You want to
Yeah,
send it over?
like, you can borrow.
Maybe,
You got to come
maybe
up here and borrow it though. I'm not shipping it through the mail. I don't trust the mail.
Do you also believe that birds aren't real?
No, birds are clearly real. They are just mechanical drones piloted by the government. You're
Yeah,
missing the. And it's
yeah.
not all of
It's a
them. That's the
It's a
real kicker.
CIA
There are
psyop.
real birds and there are fake real birds, and you got to know the difference. The ones that sit on your power line watching your house 24 hours a day.
So yeah,
CIA.
they've got like, power converters in their talons. That's so they just stay powered up all day. That's why they got to be there.
Do you think that if you attack them, they like morph? They like level up?
They converge together into one giant board and then
A,
pick
Vol-
you up. And you never see it
a
again.
Voltron board.
A pigeon Voltron.
Yeah. So, any predictions whether Pokemon Scarlet or Violet will be at next year's Game Awards?
I mean, they'll be there.
No.
It'll be in like
I mean,
best
yeah.
kids game category or something.
They won't win anything. They haven't perfected it.
It depends on if if it's in best kids game like Corby.
They won't win anything meaningful.
How dare you, sir?
Hey, yeah, come on, fuck you.
You're now downplaying Corby.
Yeah, let's just might as well just right up transition into the actual Game Awards. That's what we're talking about today. We can like just kind of, I say we'll leave the major two for the end, but like we can just kind of cherry pick the rest of the categories as we kind of go through them. But I was happy to see that Kirby won Best Family Game, and I can attest that it is a great family experience. I have done Uncle Magic playing with Kirby. Just my 2.5-year-old nephew just comes in, just like, I want to turn Kirby into a car. I'm just like,
he wants that cussing.
Yeah, I'm just like,
so
he's a gamer.
So there's one terrifying implication there, and that's that he's a listener of Da Baby.
Well,
I don't know the lyric.
I don't. I've fallen off on my music listening. What is the lyric?
Turn that bitch to a car, drive off.
I mean,
he 3-year-old, interpreting the baby and then translating it into Kirby.
Yeah,
wanting to.
He is, a young. My nephew is just becoming a young gentleman of culture. That is absolutely true.
He's going to be a TikTok star by 8.
No,
a retired one by 18.
But I
get on that.
I was
make some content out of them. Exploit the children while they're young, before they learn better.
I was very happy to see it get some love though, because
yes.
I've enjoyed it a lot.
I have one hot 93.7 tell them why you mad moment.
Yeah, some oversight
I'll let him finish, but God of War should not have won best soundtrack or score or whatever the fuck the
best score music. Yeah, people are pretty.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was robbed.
Oh, okay. That's the real hot take. Save everyone's just saying, it should have been Takusa Saito with Elden Ring. I mean, I had my money on
was robbed of the one category I thought they'd steal.
Yeah, again, I mean, for the most part, them just happy to be. It just been
an
honor.
They were absolutely vibing, just happy to be there. But I mean, Flute Man and the orchestra was going hard.
Oh yeah, can we just take a moment to pay respects to. I even saw his name because he's had his meme moment.
Yeah.
Let me see, Game Awards.
His day in the sun.
Flute guy. Apparently, he's a
renowned flautist.
Renowned flautist.
Sounds like again something that Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine would know offhand.
But my guy was going fucking hard.
Oh yeah, he changed instruments too.
Well, because he had the traditional flute from Xenoblade that he was playing. He had that strapped around his neck.
Flute.
Yeah, he had that strapped around his neck. And then he was playing, I think, the alto flute.
Yeah, it looked like an alto flute.
Is that one? It says Pedro Eustache, a Venezuelan musician and flute.
He was jamming.
No, he was so pumped too at the end. So my guy was having a moment, and he deserved it. I mean, like, and the camera was loving him too. It was just like he's showing the spice, the verve. It was great. Going absolutely hard. Yeah, there were a lot of memeable moments from this Game Awards that we will discuss after we get through the actual nitty gritty. Were there any other major oversights, omissions, snubs, surprises? I had 2.
Mobile games should have won more categories.
It should, rather than just being relegated to their own little area that I think was part of the pre-show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
they shouldn't even
what won best mobile game. I think it was the best. I love to see that Diablo Immortal lost that.
Yes.
Because from
I
what
mean,
And people
I mean,
do like
they're
Snap.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
padding
saying.
their
From what I've
tiers
heard.
with $100 bills,
Right,
but
right. From what I understand, Marvel Snap is a decent game.
I've heard it's very
actually,
addictive from
yeah,
the
Yes.
stuff I've seen.
it's made by the Hearthstone people. They know what they're doing.
They know the bright color, flashy light combo.
Yeah. So that, yeah, I predict as the categories I should have kept a tally because I streamed it. Folks, go check the VOD on YouTube. I streamed it and I should have kept a tally of my predictions. I had some
I was gonna go back
some
through
losses, but I was
our
quite good.
uncut episode and grab what me and
Our
Andrew
votes,
picked.
yeah, your votes, yeah. I mean, I knew for a fact that you guys were wrong about your best adaptation. You're saying like, oh, it could only be Sonic, and I was like, my reasoning, as I said even before, it says before it came out, you can go to the VOD, you can show that I'm telling the truth. That it was only going to be Arcane, the League of Legends, because Sonic maybe had the widest appeal, the widest audience in terms of the
Are
actual
you saying
viewers.
whitest or widest?
The largest,
Okay.
the largest appeal
Okay.
in terms of general audience for the film. But those weren't people that were voting in the Game Awards. That was not a translation from one to the other, a one-to-one translation. Whereas you bet your ass that a bunch of League of Legends players, were definitely voting in the Game Awards.
Wait. I'm confused here for a second. Are you saying that League of Legends players are people and that their vote counts? Because that is not what I was told, sir.
Yeah, that one I called that one.
I will say Splatoon 3 winning best multiplayer.
Hell yeah.
Fuck Call of Duty.
Mhm.
Fuck Overwatch.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a Splatoon 3 player. I'm not a Splatoon player at all. I would have been happy to see the TMNT Shredder's Revenge win.
That
as
was
well,
the other
but
one that I was cool with.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
the
was
one I
cool to
voted
see.
for.
Cool to see not one of the traditional multiplayer schlops win the basic multiplayer award.
Pour one out for Sifu getting overlooked.
Yeah, it happens. I was a bit surprised.
Multiverses one.
I can't say I'm
Best
surprised.
fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say of the two categories he was in. I can't say I'm super surprised.
No, I was
lost,
actually saying I was more surprised that Elden Ring won Best Direction. I thought that was the one that was going to go to God of War or Horizon or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of the big two. You're skipping ahead.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, you're skipping ahead because what happened here is that for the majority of the show, it really looked like God of War was running away with it, right? It had
best art direction.
It had the majority of things, but yeah, for the longest time, it was Elden Ring had only won best art direction, which people were saying again that people were pissed that, or fans, I should say, of Horizon were pissed that they weren't in higher contention for art direction and audio design. So not score and music, but audio design.
Yeah.
Because again, you can fault a lot of things, I think, in Forbidden West. Definitely didn't deserve Game of the Year. Definitely didn't deserve game direction, narrative, any of that. But you cannot deny it was a beautiful looking and sounding game.
Oh, absolutely.
So those were the things where it was definitely at its highest quality. But maybe then it just speaks to how good the competition is, right?
Shout out to Matthias Bzka Trisconi for winning best esports coach. What a name.
So didn't he have don't those folks have weird names leet speak names and shit?
There's Andre B1AD3, so Blade,
yeah. I'd say that's Bazooka. That's this guy, Matthias Tarasconi. It's Bazooka.
It's an Italian.
I mean, yeah, we don't bring attention to the esports categories. Those were bullshit.
I thought you were gonna say we don't bring attention to the Italians.
We don't do
them either.
Only the Italians, voiced by a terribly racist and right wing.
Can we say how
Christian.
bad I feel for Keegan Michael Key presenting that thing? Somebody else obviously wrote his little intro thing. It was the most unfunny bit of the entire night. The actual comedian present there, the most unfunny bit.
But the person I felt most bad for was Al Pacino.
Oh my god,
he was just so out.
Oh
of
my
place.
god, there's some great.
Couldn't even read.
There's some
the teleprompter.
My man was struggling.
Do you think he just got lost and they just let him in?
I mean, like
old Uncle Al walked in by accident.
No, they
how much you think
they paid him at least a fat mil, if not more. If not more,
yeah, that's crazy. And I was listening to Hassan. He made a good point. There's no reason to have to try to legitimize these game awards anymore.
Right.
This is a huge industry.
It's bigger than Hollywood at this point.
Yeah, you don't need to bring in
James Cameron says different, sir.
Say it is.
James Cameron will change everything.
Again, folks, I'm saluting. I'm ready to enlist in the James Cameron Sardaukar. I will be on the front lines of the Avatar war.
Rumor has it that Avatar 6 is going to be an actual you're going to be taken to real Pandora to be fodder in a war.
You're gonna be put in the suspended animation chamber. Wake up 10 years later on Pandora. Sign me up.
I'm ready.
It looks so good because it's not CGI. He's filming real things,
including real 9 foot
real
tall
hair sex.
Blue Catwoman. Yes, please. Ooh for me.
Ooh for me.
Yes, I am ready. I am so ready. But no, you're totally right about that. And that was the whole nature of his speech too, right? Was his intro thing is they've come so far, these performances are elevating the medium, because he was doing for best for best performance, which shout out Christopher Judge for single-handedly giving 8 to 10 people a free Steam Deck.
Yeah, it was 8.
I saw something that it's now the longest award acceptance speech in history.
Amazing. Yeah, it was 8 minutes 19 seconds.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Any other? So there's a bunch here. I guess my 2 surprises that I was so happy to see was the double victory for Stray for best debut indie and best indie. I really thought Neon White was gonna take.
I thought Neon White would have stolen one, but cool to see Stray get it. Stray deserved it.
A simple game, but such a nice execution of its vision.
It's okay to, just have a thing you want to do and do it.
Yeah. No, and it proves
such a simple thought.
And it proves again, it's I don't. This is kind of a tangent, but I sent this article to you guys last night. I know we weren't not really going to talk about it, but he was talking about how the blockbuster video game is kind of dying out, and how we're getting fewer and fewer, and it's because the process has become different. It's become more expensive, more time it takes to design and create these games. So there's that element of it, but then it's the element that it's only established IP. It's only remakes of older classics because of the what's the word I'm looking for? Not trepidation, but the skittishness of the boards of these major companies. Yeah, it's they want to go with the safe bet rather than risking that time and money on something new, where so as we're seeing that indie space is where the only good things are happening. And you have a game like Stray, and to that point you just made, Matt, it's doing something that you like and doing something that you just think is cool will more often than not, resonate. It will it will land and it will find its audience and that ultimately leads to
Well, there's
financial
just like
success.
little
That
things that
shouldn't.
happen when you're doing what you want to do, you're just having fun with it. It's like you could put those little touches in that tell you like they cared about what they were putting into the game.
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
Yeah,
They weren't just slaves to a corporation.
they weren't just
churning
sitting
out.
there making sure that the monetization screen and interface is flawless for launch while looking at the horribly compressed gameplay.
Yeah, it's it's cool to see indies, getting their place to shine, but like the major market is looking bleaker, I think, than ever. Which, oh man, I'm so this is completely different, but like I'm so upset that As Dusk Falls won games for Impact.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. Because
I'm
like
really
As
upset
Dusk
about that
Falls just
one.
didn't seem to get that much coverage when it came out compared to what I saw with like Citizen Sleeper.
Yeah, I wanted Citizen Sleeper to win so bad. I would have even taken Endling or Teenage Exocolonist. But nope. Total bummer. Yeah, so we were with the VR games, like fuck that like mobile, that should not have been a thing. Those aren't real games. Get at me. Ooh,
Just experienced my first Pokemon crash.
a hard crash to menu.
Yeah.
Nice. I was stoked and sitting there, doing the steeple fingers as Mario plus Rabbids won for best sim and strategy.
Yep.
Super psyched about that. I would have flipped my table if Dune Spice Wars won. Giving an award to an early access game, bullshit. Absolutely horrendous. Shouldn't have even been nominated. Absolute tragedy.
I love the milking of the Dune IP.
They've
I mean,
barely started the milking. It's only just begun.
That's my point.
yeah, and we'll
Exactly.
get to more. We'll get to more. There's something I want to bring up that I watched something that Matt said about one of the announcements that we'll get to. That we are Dune pilled here. I am absolute. I don't care about that. I love more and more Dune. But I want to support the Dune IP as much as possible so that we get a mainline adaptation of God Emperor of Dune down the line. That we get
Imagine the posters.
giant worm, giant worm person, whoever they cast as Leto the second, turning into a giant worm. Like, yes, Hollywood is not ready, but but I am. Oh, you know what's hilarious? There was besides, I mean, Call of Duty as of yet is not a Microsoft thing, but I'm pretty sure Starfield as most anticipated. I think that was like the only, first party Microsoft game that was even nominated.
As Dusk Falls.
Oh, As Dusk Falls, right? I forgot about that one. I get it. As your point said, like it was like completely just subsumed when it came out. So I guess they got that
it's
one.
It's almost like the developers who've said that the straight to Game Pass model can do that to some games.
Right. And yeah, so that kind of defeats my point. I was saying, like, so funny to see that that's the only game that gets nominated, and it's for a game, games that haven't even come out yet, and it still loses.
Well, there was no beating
Legend of Zelda. Yeah, no way. I mean, that was the only contender, but like, no way. I'm just scrolling through here. We've kind of talked about most of these.
The only contender is if Final Fantasy 16 isn't standing there right next to it.
Yeah, but it's not
some edgy combat.
But it's not as that one is as popular as the Final Fantasy franchise is.
We will see.
I don't think it competes. I'm anticipating it. I think it's probably my highest anticipated game on the list. We have Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, which I will not be playing.
Yeah.
I will not be playing the magical racism game. I will not be playing that. Resident Evil 4 remake, Starfield, which we are incredibly skeptical of, and then Tears of the Kingdom. Which if I had put in the
I mean,
150
I have a
hours
new
to
game on my list of anticipated for next year, but I will wait.
okay.
I'll wait my turn till it's time to talk about those.
Yeah, so the real big ones were, I
Patient
would
and
say,
lad.
probably best narrative is the smallest of the three big ones, but then best narrative, best game direction, game of the year. But so God of War won best narrative, which I haven't seen. Luckily, from what else happened at the show, I think we're lucky enough that it has saved us from the discourse. It has shut off the discourse around the should Elden Ring have even been.
Does Elden Ring have a narrative?
Yeah. I'm happy that it has. That we haven't seen any of that. Everything else that happened really kind of swept that under the rug. But
That
so it's
cold
like
take video I sent had a pretty decent take on the does Elden Ring have a narrative?
yeah.
Discussion.
But so it's like up until that point, Elden Ring had only won one award, best art direction. But so it's like it was looking, I was getting more and more skeptical that it was going to win game of the year as time went on. I was like, oh boy, like God of War is really building up steam. This is looking a little dire. But then as soon as Miyazaki won best game direction, it definitely it's like, okay, where it's basically becomes a little clearer that God of War is getting kind of the more awards, but the the less important ones, and Elden Ring is just kind of still
that was
just
Miyazaki's backstab crit moment.
Yeah,
where he teleported behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, he teleported behind the Corey Balrog, the Balrog of Morgoth himself. I know that's not how you say his name, but
Balrog.
Yeah, no, I know it's Barlog, but I will always refer to him as the Balrog of Morgoth. But so then we had the Why We're All Here game of the year. Really, could it have been anything else besides Elden Ring? I was like,
Pokemon Arceus.
Fuck off. I was, I was lulled into this sense of doubt again because of that, like watching it in the moment. I'm like, oh my god, like I know it should be Elden Ring, but like, is it suffering from the, it's almost a year old at this point
because it was so late early.
And saying God of War is just riding the right at the end of the window.
Bias.
Yeah. So is it going to take it? Is it going to, sweep it away? But it was pretty much
Miyazaki
guaranteed.
got the backstab crit, and then when the Balrog himself got back up, he got the final parry.
Yep.
Finished him off with the riposte.
So I guess now's the time let's just before we get into the announcements and spend the rest of the time on that, I'd say let's talk about the real kind of meme moments.
Middle schooler in the room.
Yeah, the literal 15-year-old prankster, because as we've he's probably a groiper, but as we've gotten from the gumshoe reporting from our boy Jason Schreier, got the culprit on Zoom and confirmed that he is not an anti-Semitic troll. Nope. He is just he is if anything
just a regular troll.
Say just Jewish prankster was how
speaking Hebrew to him and then him like responding,
but then pretending that he couldn't understand it. Yeah, it's he clearly understood Jason Schreier asking him a question in Hebrew and then and then tried to play it off. But it's apparently the kid stayed in character the whole time. His stuff has surfaced from that he's had some other account. I don't know. It's still a weird figure, but I know Matt, you were saying you don't like how we're giving this kid propelling him to internet stardom for crashing the game of the year presentation and nominating.
It's mostly because I just don't want it to normalize more fucking middle schoolers doing this shit until someone's gonna get shot by a security detail by accident.
Yeah, but it's so he's shouting out Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Shout outs to him. But
Did you
If
hear
if
some
you
of
go
the
back and
when you-
rewatch the clip, you can see early on that he's eyeing security, and essentially security was readying to grab him
yeah, no,
because they were gonna let
they
Miyazaki
but,
finish.
but he was also eyeing the monitors to
well,
see where
well,
if he
because
could get into the
you
frame.
what you actually saw is he was trying to stay out of frame for as long as possible to draw as little attention until the
Yeah,
end to not get pulled off stage.
And then he moves
What
into
what's
the he
yeah,
like
what's
looks
baffling
at
to
it and
me
moves
is
in.
how they didn't cut the mic.
Yeah.
Is how they didn't cut the microphone afterwards. But it's like to me, I'm like as I'm watching it unfold, I like just in my internal monologue is like, oh my god, are we about to see Miyazaki get Shinzo
well,
Abe live on YouTube?
that's the
Uh,
other implication there, where it's like if they can allow that to happen, like that's very
Yeah.
simple to like that's very unsafe.
yeah,
Like some delusional God of War fan goes up there and gives a real backstab.
yeah.
Backstab crit. My favorite from the Jason Schreier interview was one of his reasoning, the kid's reasoning for Bill Clinton being Jewish was like sayings that Bill Clinton would like have like running a country is like talking to a graveyard because no one listens or some
That is a
shit like
very
that.
Jewish thing to say.
Exactly. I mean, just if anything, it's just like an old Jewish man saying,
Yeah.
but like, it's not conclusive from that point that Bill Clinton is Jewish, but just fantastic.
But yeah, it was wild. I went back and watched our VOD of the live stream, and I'm just like kind of losing my mind. I'm like, just me. I'm just like, whose kid is that? Whose son just went up on
Yeah.
stage? It's like, no, he's just some incorrigible prankster. But it was a wild moment. It was
Some Discord channel of all middle schoolers is just popping off right now for a
yeah, just
giveaway.
yeah. Shout out Jeff Grubb for that tweet. Just like, hey yo, you look who's on the Game Awards. Um, but I am uh I'm capable of say like we'll give this kid his time in the spotlight because it was worth it in terms of all the great memes that came out of it. I mean, I
Mhm.
was already staying up way too late than I should have that night because the thing went long so much for running
Two
for
and a
two and a
half
half
hours, my
hours, Jeff.
ass.
Yeah. But I stayed up for like another hour just reading all the memes and just like the good ones about it's like about Jeff Keighley immediately after the show finding and then disappearing that kid. Just having him responses to the tweet about basically like the Jeff Keighley saying like
He's been
the
arrested.
the individual who interrupted the game of the year thing has been compromised to a permanent end. Is basically it was just so many great memes that just came from just like just Jeff Keighley beating the shit out of this kid behind the
Yeah,
stage.
Las Vegas casino pit boss style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got you tied to a chair in a closet with a single swinging light bulb
Doing the cock and ball torture from Casino
from
Royale.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, man, it's just some really funny stuff. Like like my favorite is always whenever you can bring up the Vince McMahon, take me to him, son of a bitch, take me to him. Just Jeff Keighley just as soon as the camera's cut, just tackling this man himself. But someone else tweeted like, can you imagine how fast Jeff himself would have run on stage to tackle this kid if he had done it to Kojima? Oh man, just so funny.
It would have revealed that it wasn't actually Kojima there, just a Kojima hologram that he sends out.
I wouldn't put it past the man. We already talked about a couple of the other kind of memeable moments. The ridiculously long Christopher Judge speech, again giving out personally giving out 8 Steam Decks. But speaking of Steam Decks, that giveaway was I think also compromised in a different way. It seemed to have been infiltrated by bots. I was like I had the YouTube up on for that's what I was streaming, but then I had on my other monitor I had the Steam one so that I could qualify for trying to win one myself, and it seemed to be that it was infiltrated by bots.
Here's my question. Who would not expect sweaty gamers with the opportunity to win another sweaty game device would not build some fucking
No,
bot.
but it's no. If
They
if,
said they
if that's
said
the
it was
case,
glitched Steam IDs.
I don't believe that. I don't know. I am
If you ever gone
skeptical of
look, there's
that.
always a random string of numbers on the end.
I am highly skeptical of that one. Yeah, that they claimed, yeah, it was just Steam IDs that weren't refreshing to show the actual username. I kind of don't believe it. Because that's like, that's scalper paradise right there. That's not actual gamers. Those are scalpers who are doing that type of shit.
Scalping
So,
a product that you can buy and not have to wait for.
I mean, but it's for free. But they get it for free. I
And then get to flip
Yeah,
it for
yeah. Come on.
$500.
Like these people, those are the people who have all those bot scripts. Like that's what they do. So that's the people who I would say are the culprits. But I got so distracted in the stream as I'm watching this and just seeing somebody like 763589432 just win a Steam Deck. Oh, but also shouts out to the first winner of the free Steam Deck was MilfHunter.
Nice. 69? Just
Just MilfHunter,
the
just
original.
the OG MilfHunter.
Wow.
That was also getting
For him.
memed pretty well. That was good. Seeing people like have these like teary-eyed acceptance speeches just to see congratulations MilfHunter at the bottom of the screen. It was really something else.
Fantastic.
One of the content creators I follow has a separate account for when he has to replay a game from scratch, and that's Horse Lover 69.
Oof, man, put that man on a list.
Yeah. For real.
So we talked about the Bill Clinton kid, the flute guy going absolutely hard. That was a highlight. But then I want to just mention quickly how like at the beginning of the show when Jeff is opening up the show proper, is like doing camera panning to and showing industry leaders and luminaries and like thanking them for coming out to the show and all that, but just how absolutely seething Phil Spencer was when they showed him. Just my man was having a very bad day because it was the the day that the FTC lost.
Let's cover what Phil Spencer's day felt like for a second. He was going to a Game Awards show where none of his games were really nominated for anything.
Yeah.
To sit there while his rival had many games nominated for things.
So led the competition for a number of nominations. Yeah.
And probably total victories.
God of War had the most victories, absolutely.
Yeah. So like Seethe, Cope. I mean, Nintendo even beat you in total victories.
Yeah.
The company that you have like frequently been like, we're not competing with Nintendo. They're like, it's like apples and Christmas trees.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck Call of Duty for best multiplayer.
Yeah.
Here comes Splatoon.
Yeah. Because Splatoon sold like fucking 8 million units in 3 days in Japan or something like that. It was fucking insane.
Yo,
like there might not even be 8 million people in
Nintendo's-
Japan. I don't know their total population.
It's a lot.
But
Yes.
yeah, but like same with Pokemon. Just the sheer numbers that Nintendo is moving in the past couple like
Yeah,
big
I think
releases
Pokemon was
is
10
crazy.
million in 3 days globally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Phil Spencer's
Lot
like
of
the
points.
Nintendo's we're not dealing with them, and Nintendo's just counting the money. It's like, oh, okay.
Like what? Oh yeah, you said my name.
He is definitely losing his cool guy persona the past couple days.
He's going full mask off. Yeah, no, it's he was just not, just like could not even like manage to like put on a real smile. It's just like he's doing like the the Jonah Hill meme, like the cut it, like get me on screen, like fuck off. It was
Zooms in more.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was laughing a lot to see him.
Why else would he have
Cope,
been mad?
Malding.
Yeah, I wonder why else he'd been mad.
Yeah, to see him go bald in real time from the anger hormones, was really something else.
And not even like most millionaires that go bald. You got a few examples to follow. You got Elon Musk and you get the hair plugs, or you got the Bezos doing HGH and steroids, just destroying, your hairline that's already been destroyed
Yeah.
and just getting fucking
Yeah.
ripped.
And you embrace it and you shave your head.
Yeah. Yeah. Phil's going the third route. Just angry curmudgeon bald man. No hair plugs, that's not in the radar.
No
And
more bomber
is a gamer,
jackets.
so yeah. A gamer, so he'll never work out in his life.
Right. So that's all I had for like the real me moments. I mean, yeah, just I feel bad for Al Pacino having to stand on stage through that 8-minute speech, like just not knowing what to do with himself. He doesn't know
Yeah.
why he's there, and
That's hard for an Italian man to stand there, and
He
that
was
was
he
freightophobic.
he was
Making
looking
him stand there like
he was
that.
looking for an escape fridge to eat some deli meats.
Just or to like talk. He didn't know what to do with his hands for 8 minutes.
like there's a couple times where
That's
like the
terrifying.
camera kept cutting to Al, and he's just standing there, just with his arms behind his back, just like it.
That's fair. He has mastered the old Italian man technique of the hands behind your back while you're walking.
Unless they were paying him, by the minute, 1 million per minute, then he'd be like, "Yes, Christopher, keep going."
Keep going, yes. Do you also want to thank the Lord and Savior?
Did you guys also see that Christopher Judge tweeted that how he had more people he wanted to thank and he got gotten cut off?
Incredible.
Do you think
I
do you think
mean,
Jeff had words after the show?
I wonder if they're gonna send him his award. Maybe they're just gonna hold it hostage, like he held the show hostage.
It's like all sport for him. He would definitely deserve the win, but even I was being like, this is going on a little too long.
Yeah.
All right, so I've said this from the beginning that why the Game Awards are at least the most entertaining of all
No.
entertainment award shows is that they do the stuff about it's just the circle jerk of let's pat the industry on the back with rewarding ourselves for all the
But it's
millions
the
and millions of
trailers.
dollars we've won, but but that is like a solid 20% of the show, and then the rest of the 80% is just all new stuff. You don't get that at the fucking Academy Awards. Fuck that. Again, it's just four
Imagine you show
hours
up to the
of.
Oscars and you get a brand new trailer for Michael Bay's Transformers 10.
Well, that is a good transition into one of the trailers was for a Transformers game, which I was initially excited about, but then realized it's like an online multiplayer thing, and I'm like,
I missed that part of
maybe
it. That's
maybe
fantastic.
never mind. Is a brand new 1 to 4 player online action game. But I've got my list here, and like there was a lot, and I even probably could have put some more down for what I was actually excited to see. But I'll open the floor to you boys to see what were some standouts for the announcements. I mean, because some of them were just updates, things that we had seen before. Some were full on world premieres. Some were just
We start
new
with the most
footage.
normie of them.
Sure.
It's one that you didn't put down,
Okay, go ahead.
but it's the top of my list. The Jedi Survivor trailer.
Right, right.
My question is, who the fuck was the person in the back to tank?
I
Somehow,
honestly don't know.
Palpatine returned.
Yeah, early.
I mean,
Early.
I was like, are they doing, is this Ray? Like, who is this? But I'm excited. It looked like they had a lot of new like force powers and stuff
Yeah.
and rideable
I'm interested to
The
see the gimmick
mounts.
they
animals.
pull off to make you forget all the stuff you learned in the first games. That you have to re-unlock all those abilities.
Oof. Boo. Um.
Oh, and they also had a cross saber.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like how
Me
You
either.
don't
I
want to
didn't
be
like
trying to.
Kylo
that.
Ren,
No.
Kylo
Yeah.
Ren.
It's like
No,
what
that's
why do
okay.
you need to do that? Like just to try to normalize that, make it less weird that his has that.
Yeah.
Like
No, it's just
I
weird.
don't.
It should
Oh,
just be
we're
weird and we should
normalizing
leave it
cross
at that.
hilts now.
Yeah. No, I don't like it. I still need to go back and finish, and I'll probably just restart and replay Fallen Order. I kind
I
of
mean,
I
I'm
kind of bounced
excited.
off of
It
it.
looks like it looks like it's gonna be like a pretty decent game. The first one was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Nothing nothing special. Um, but was pretty excited to see that.
Matt, what's the top of your list? You already said there's one that has now moved its way up to. Well, I think I know which one, but
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if you want me to start with it, I can start with Armored Core,
yeah, let's go. Let's go with it.
Fires of Rubicon.
So that is the one that yeah, Mike. I watched this video that Matt sent. That appears to be some deep diving into the the pre-release stuff about this. That it appears that Miyazaki and From Software have also been Dune pilled.
The
They
Melange.
Yeah, like so the trailer that we saw at the Game Awards was like talking about how like it's all like surrounding this mysterious energy resource that was on this like this other planet,
Mhm.
and it like caused some cataclysm, and the player character and the rest in like all these different factions have like after this cataclysm have returned and are like vying for control over this stuff, and in earlier treatments of it, this mysterious material was referred to as melange, as as in the spice melange.
Mm.
So and it seems very similar in its in the kind of the role it plays in the universe. So yeah, it's just like, yes, Miyazaki further showing his appreciation for culture by again being Dune pilled.
Doing pilling us.
Yeah.
I mean, just the raw atmosphere in that trailer. There was a real good feeling in that trailer for what that game is going to like feel like as an environment, an atmosphere, like the overall like tone of the game.
I really liked just seeing like the player character mech, just scavenging and putting things into his giant backpack.
Yeah.
Oh, Loot Goblin.
There was just that little element was very interesting to me. Yeah, it was very.
I
It was
was
a cool.
also sold when the one robot came in with the stake driver and just finished him.
Yes. So yeah, Armored Core. I mean, again, that was basically leaked earlier this year, so it wasn't
Yeah.
really a surprise, but it's cool to see the
Cool to see
trailer.
next year as the release.
Right, right. They've been working on it for a while then.
Well, yeah, 'cause it's also going to PS4 and Xbox One.
Right. That's what we saw that as well. That yeah, it's been working on. They've been working on it long enough that it's still cross generational.
But I mean, beyond that, so let's see. There was. I'm just going to keep going through my list. Hades 2. Really like the vibe we
Yeah,
got.
obviously,
Super
Hades 2 is
excited.
going to be is one of the highlights, one of the big things.
I think one of the jokes I saw was like it was Hades 1 on top, Hades 2 on the bottom, and it was Hades 1 was subtitled bisexual, Hades
yeah,
2 was subtitled bisexual.
yeah. So it's like my question is like, how horny is this going to be? Is it going to be hornier?
It's gonna be much
Yeah, so is it
hornier.
going to be even hornier? Can that happen?
So much hornier.
Man, that's another one that again I need to actually beat.
Same. And definitely more so with number 2 coming out.
So there was also that Hellboy.
Yeah, that
Very excited about
Yeah.
that.
So I want to like how they got the game to look like the comic
right.
It's incredible.
and like the keeping with the original comic art style. And I don't know who the voice of Hellboy was, but I recognize him.
I saw give me a second because I'm gonna butcher it. People thought it was Lance Reddick.
That's what I thought. It sounded
Who-
like Lance Reddick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was. But I was cool. I am a fan of Lance Reddick, but like, man, I just wish it was Ron Perlman.
Yeah, same.
I was expecting
That's the only
Ron
Hellboy
Perlman.
for me.
That would have been.
How mad
That's
would
the
you have
voice
been
I'll
if it was
hear.
the new Hellboy voice?
Was it David Harbour, the
Yeah.
Stranger
Yeah.
Things guy? Yeah, no thanks. I never watched that. I never watched the reboot.
Tis not good.
Me either.
I've watched it.
Oh, nothing could beat Ron Perlman.
Well, it's
And,
also because you've
it's
got
Guillermo
Guillermo
del
del
Toro.
Toro.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like
That's
you
the
can't beat
real
that.
kicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hellboy Web
You're
of
right.
Weird, that was top of my list. I mean, kind of went in order as things have been released.
Also, Judas by the
Yes.
Bioshock people. Granted, it
Very
just
excited
looks
for
like
that.
Bioshock to me. Like they didn't show me
Yes.
anything that didn't look like Bioshock in a new place. It'll probably like
Correct.
at the very end of the game. Here's my like way out there prediction. It's going to tie into Bioshock somehow.
Mhm.
Wouldn't be surprising. Seems to be the trend. People love their tie-ins and crossovers.
Well, I mean, this guy's also got an ego that would like as a developer.
He's got it.
Suicide Squad
I'm a
killed
genius.
Justice League.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, if that wasn't already a must play, the reveal that we're gonna get
It rocks. It's
the last Kevin Conroy, voicing of Batman, that really solidifies it. That's absolutely a must play.
well, I mean, beyond the fact that yes, like I agree with you there, but like just compare what we've seen of this to what we have of Gotham Knights. It's just like Rocksteady and Rocksteady at home.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this looks good, and yeah, I'm. It's just like it hits you right in the gut, to hear the "I am the Knight."
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be like that's gonna be interesting when that comes out to hear like that's gonna be the last performance we'll have, like new performance of him.
Yep.
Because he was the voice of old Batman and Batman Beyond as well, if I recall.
Yeah, I mean, he's like basically done it in almost every every any voice acting adaptation has been Kevin Conroy.
Uh Earthblade.
Was that one kind of like there was one that to me looked like a Metroidvania, but
Yes.
was that one?
It's like a so Celeste. It's the people who did Celeste,
Celeste, right.
and so Celeste is much more of a like challenging platformer.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they've incorporated like the level design of a challenging platformer with some of the like Hollow Knight esque 2D Metroidvania combat.
Right. Man, how heartbroken I continue to be over Dune Awakening though, being a survival MMO. Oh man,
Yeah, no,
hurts
that's
me. It hurts me.
like I love me some Dune, but right now they are making games that I'm not interested in playing.
Yeah, that are just like the few genres I just bounce right off of.
Well, you don't like survival MMOs? It sounds so fun.
I absolutely do not. And I do not. And I want to and I want to enjoy RTS games, but I, again, just seem to bounce right off of them.
You know what I don't want to bounce off of? Death Stranding 2.
I knew that would be a big one for you. Again, it's another one that I still need to play. I have
Yeah.
the I have
I mean, I just bought the
director's
director's
cut
cut
claim.
that I
I have
showed
it claimed. I have it claimed through through PS Plus or whatever. What did you make of the trailer though? Like I know I saw some trailer breakdown stuff about speculation about what's going on.
A couple things. The first thing I make is they've really upped their quality because there was a lot of in-engine shots thrown in there of really good character models,
Yeah.
like really good character models, especially the Norman Reedus one. I like to assume
old
that
man
Kojima.
Norman. Yeah.
I assume Kojima brought Norman into like a booth and like 3D scanned his naked body so that he could perfectly render every square inch. There's a lot going on there. Uh, looks really interesting. I like the implication that there's a lot going on there. Like it looks more. So Death Stranding 1 definitely had more of like the package delivery simulator. with a little bit of like
It's
goop
like
monster here.
yeah, it really opens up at the end, like the in
Yeah.
terms of
And this looks
the
like it builds
wildness of the
off that
plot.
more.
Yeah, it open that's at the very tail end,
Yeah.
from what my understanding, and then that this is basically going to be that from the
Who do
jump.
you think the other celebrity is going to be behind the mask dude? Because obviously Kojima's getting people.
I don't know. Yeah, like the guy playing the guitar.
Yeah.
I
It's going
don't
to be
know.
Whiteface Idris Elba. Oi, bruv.
What a concept.
Well, bro, it's me, Knuckles. I mean, yeah, I knew you'd like that one. I'm interested. What do you think about the Blue Protocol, the like basically the anime MMO thing coming from it's Bandai Namco, right? It's
Yeah.
Bandai Namco,
I
but
mean,
then
Bandai Namco is the one who makes all of the anime games.
do they make Genshin Impact? Because that's all the things I
No,
see it. That
that's
is,
different. That's a Chinese
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Don't you dare get Japanese and Chinese culture
That's what I'm saying.
intertwined.
Yeah, I know, but see, like that's like the big like. I mean, it's not. I know it's not because it's Chinese. It's not technically anime, but like it
There was a whole
essentially
war with
is.
them and Sonic fans over
Oh yeah,
player's
over
voice or
the
whatever the fucking
yeah,
award
which was
was.
hilarious to see Sonic Frontiers lose that one too.
Well,
Because he
yeah,
was
like
like Jeff Keighley, like that's like once we took out all the bot votes,
yes.
Genshin Impact wins. Like, oh, okay.
If you had told me that both of them were just botted votes, I'd believe you.
But in terms of style from this one, it looks a lot like Xenoblade,
Yeah,
Xenoblade 3.
I would agree. And it like Xenoblade does carry a lot of like MMO styling to its combat, especially.
Yeah. So what I'd say is like it was that element that makes me a little bit more open, but the fact that it's designed for full controller support,
Yes.
is what actually in terms of like might actually get me to play an MMO. It's like I'm building up my mouse and keyboard chops playing some more classic games, but like um that's really been a huge barrier for me. Um but this could be something I'm interested in.
Yeah. And then beyond what we've spoken about, so like Space Marine 2, cool to see more of that.
Yes. Oh my God, the Tyranids look great.
I mean, I can't
Love
wait for it
bashing
to
some
turn out that it's not
Tyranids.
actually Tyranids, it's just Nurgle with Tyranid costumes.
I'm trying to remember. Well, no. So the original Space Marine, the majority of the for like I forget how many levels there were, but it's like up until like the last like three or four. It's all orcs,
Yeah.
but then there is a chaos invasion, but it's chaos space marines and corn demons actually. No, one of the ones that does not have Nurgle. So I mean, yeah, it didn't, but like I'm will be yeah,
Secret final boss Nurgle.
yeah, I have a strange feeling that it's going to be that there's going to be a Nurgle twist somewhere. But the
I
Tyranids,
was
the hordes
disappointed.
look amazing.
Yes. I'm just disappointed. No Necron love. We're just chilling, eternally dead and alive
But
simultaneously,
I don't
like
know.
most millennials.
I don't know. I mean, Necrons because they're a primarily a shooty kind of faction. It does not fit as well. Whereas Tyranids and Orcs were perfect horde type enemies for a hack and slash. For getting up
Sad
close and
Scorpion
personal.
noises.
Yeah, but it's like those are elites. Those are not like the large chaff type of thing. Like um it's like for getting up and close into a hack and slash. These are really those are the standout factions. So I'm
I was
excited.
disappointed by how much Diablo 4 we saw.
Oof, yeah.
And by like the shitty monetization and everything shown right after.
And particularly like with like like it was after last year, the like the kind of the mealy mouth thing that uh that Jeff put out about like making the industry safer and more inclusive and all that, and you know potentially like, removing Activision Blizzard games from contention, and then this basically being a Blizzard show.
Yeah.
Was pretty disappointing to see. I will agree with that one.
Because there's definitely some like Diablo 4 is gonna have a battle pass, which is kind of like I don't like the battle pacification of everything.
Yeah.
Feels tacked on just because it makes money.
It's the model, man.
Gotta make
Yeah,
money, man.
did you two have any other ones? Because I've got a few that weren't mentioned.
I saw Crime Boss looked
Yeah, it
hilarious to
does.
me.
It actually really does. It's like a GTA clone basically, but it actually looks pretty
Yeah.
interesting. And I saw the video. I haven't watched the video, but there's a further gameplay deep dive that I want to check out. But like Michael Mann, amazing. The fucking Vanilla Ice,
Yeah,
as
Vanilla Ice was fantastic.
so that's great.
That's my love.
I am really yeah, that one, I didn't put that one on my list, but like I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears out open to see what that looks like. I've been hurt too recently with that kind of game with Saints Row, so I'm gonna hold off on
The
that one.
wound is still fresh.
Yeah. Matt, did you have more?
Cool to see some Fire Emblem Engage.
Yep. I mean, it's nice to see that there's going to be that they're going to have the three house characters, because those are the ones that I actually know.
I mean, that's they know that Three Houses was one of their most popular games, so they got to pander to that audience a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like everything, like in terms of the marketing and the cover art and all the things that they've shown so far, it's purely been like Marth and
Yes,
who's the lady one? Is it like Sigrun?
Lynn.
Something? No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
Either way, it was just cool to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing that. I don't care. I don't care that the textures look a little flat. I will be playing.
We got a Remnant from the Ashes sequel. Wasn't expecting that. Remnant 2.
Right.
It's a
I was unfamiliar with the
it's a
first one.
co-op
So
roguelike soulsy sci-fi shooter,
okay.
which is a lot of things.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Quite a few.
I do remember
But
seeing something like that and thinking it looked kind of cool.
I've couple people at my D&D table have played it and have said good things about the first one.
Oh, Matt, what do you think about the Bayonetta origins? I think whoever came up
So
with
I
that
watched the
should go
trailer.
straight to prison.
It was weird. Like I don't really know what, like, not to pull the age old like who asked for this question out, but like I don't know who that's targeted for.
Sickos, that's who it's targeted for.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Again,
I know the
people who should be
audience.
put on a watch list.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's you go to buy
It's
the
to
game, and
create
when
the
you go to
watch
pick it up,
list.
they handcuff you and they take you
See,
away.
yeah, again, we are not supporters of the FBI, but yeah, they can't. Yeah, it's like you purchase that and the FBI knocks down your door. Yeah, that one is a little. It's like who wants kid Bayonetta, like it's just like that. Yeah, that's yeah,
No for me, dog.
Yeah.
it makes that's gross. I say no.
I need to see more from Lords of the Fallen.
Right, because that's like a soft reboot, right? Because it was originally Lords of the
Fairly
Fallen.
hard reboot.
Okay, because I thought it was originally Lords of the Fallen 2, but then they dropped that
Yeah.
and are making more of a reboot
Because
the
the first
one
Lords
didn't
of the
work very
Fallen was
well.
not a well received or good game.
Yeah, so we'll see about it. I mean, it's obviously a
Dark fantasy action RPG.
Yeah, Souls like in some way.
If you've ever seen the meme where it's the zoomed in and it's Buzz Lightyear in his toy case, and it's like, so I'll say like dark fantasy RPG. And then it zooms out to the wall of all of them.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Anything at the end? Just
There was like a weird Crash Bandicoot game.
Yeah, it's like a
Crash Team Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I got excited when I saw Crash Bandicoot because I enjoyed that game as a child, but this looked like it was too much.
I had a few things to make note of. For let's just say the first there's the totally not real full release window for Baldur's Gate 3 that was announced. The
Mm.
fact they
Not
didn't actually
real.
give an actual date, it was just August 2023. That's not real. And August is still so far away, you know. That's still like 9+ months away at this point. That's it's 9 months away, but like that's absolutely bullshit. That is not real whatsoever. Um I had After Us, looks kind of cool. It's like you play as this like weird little sprite thing, and it's like
Yep.
you're going through like the it's like a platformer thing out like after some type of environmental apocalypse. It looks interesting. Looks like it might have an interesting story to tell. We saw more of Atomic Heart, which is a game that's like been on the radar for a long time, but it's been like delayed. I don't necessarily know that it's a game for me. Um, Andrew might play it. I think it's one that Andrew might play.
Is that the spooky game?
It's kind of spooky, but it's like yeah, it's like I see something here like it's like Fallout, but if you made it Russian.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I feel like it got delayed because of
It
the
did.
the war in Ukraine. I think it got delayed because of that. Okay, but the next one, really cool looking, is Replaced. It's got a really awesome pixel art style. You drive a long car. Like, I wonder if you have a dad who could really drive.
That sure could drive.
But yeah, that one looks really cool. So yeah, those are going through all the ones we've talked about. Oh, and the last one on my list that hadn't been mentioned already is the Banishers game, Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Oh yeah.
You play this like ghost hunter. It looks very much like it's a third person action kind of God of War. And again, it's you get that kind of feeling purely because of the camera. Uh because of the camera angle, but it's like you have like it looks like basically it's like your wife, your lover, or whatever has died and is a ghost and is accompanying you and helping you solve these things. But like, yeah, you're fighting ghosts and ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. Sign me up.
Oh, another one. This reminded me that looked interesting, but I feel like will be disappointing. Was Immortals
Oh
something
yes,
something
yes. It's like a first.
Aviom or
It's a
whatever.
first-person magic
like
shooter
magic
thing.
shooter? Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's an EA game,
Immortals
so I don't
of
have faith in it.
Avium. I've seen it spelled two different ways, so I don't really know what is what, and it doesn't really show a lot. So yeah, it's Ascendant Studios.
No, but
Um,
definitely one that's like on the radar. It looks like it could be interesting.
yeah, we'll see how they
Uh,
execute it.
yeah, yeah. The concept for sure is was interesting at the very least.
And can we talk just a little bit about how it's like Andrew and I were talking about this on the stream for it. Just how like Diablo can make a really fucking cool trailer, but then the
Yep.
game just is
The game
completely
does not play
different,
anything like that.
and it's just really upsetting. It's like the perfect example of why cinematic trailers are bullshit. I mean, I think we've almost fairly exhausted this list here. I will be jumping back into
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West to play
The DLC.
the DLC. Um, but yeah, that was the Game Awards, folks. I think it played out aside from those funny moments, those unexpected moments. I I'm pretty sure the cards basically fell how was largely predicted with a few shakeups, a few underdogs here and there, or undercats, should we say. With Stray coming out to clinch the indie games. That was cool. Um yeah, I thought it was a fairly good show. Some showed some interesting things, actually showed some new stuff.
I would say from the overall content and everything as a total, it was like an 8 out of 10 show.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily see that if you were just on the internet and just seeing all the, the Xbots just being like, this was a god, this was the God of
It's
War show.
rigged.
Yeah, it's just like fuck off.
Standout of the night, Al Pacino.
I don't. Yeah, that was that. Just him looking bewildered and lost. Like I know we can all relate to that. Okay, folks. Um, it is time for plugs. Be sure to check us out on Twitch at campaign or twitch.tv/campaign comrades. One day I'll get that link right in the first shot, but not today. While it still exists, follow us on Twitter at CampCompod. We were trying to get more active, but then as the things seem more precarious, it's like why bother? So we'll let it play out for a little while, but sure, follow us there.
Catch us on whatever new platform that arises out of this. We might be making a MySpace, maybe a Tumblr, who knows?
Mastodon.
No, that's one thing we basically know will not. It will not. Mastodon will not take over. True Social. That there's a contender.
Yeah.
I too want to give my social security number to
Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. All right, Mike, hit him with your plug.
Catch me at Cut the Mic Gaming on TCG Player. Hopefully the store will be back up by the time this comes out. I've been lazy and been closing it, so I don't have to look at cards.
All right, folks. Till next time, we will see you later. Oh, except quick announcement. Be on the lookout. Our next week episode, I think, will be the Campaign Comrades version of the Game Awards. We will be going over our own categories, making.
I've already hired a middle schooler to show up behind me and shout out his
and to make
rabbi.
and to make vaguely sounding anti-Semitic comments. Yes. Yeah. All right, folks. But we will see you then. Be on the lookout, and enjoy the holiday times as they are quickly approaching. We shall see you soon. Bye bye.